On this episode of the Turnbuckle, a triple threat TNT Championship title match has been announced for AEW's Full Gear pay-per-view. Triple H has been dragged for over the lackluster build of the Survivor Series War Games pay-per-view, and Andrade Idolo, that's hard to say that 5 times fast, is currently in the hospital. Folks, it's time to hit a sharpshooter some wrestling news because it's time for the Turnbuckle. In a match announced on Dynamite, Wardlow will defend the TNT title against Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs in a 3-way set for Full Gear. After Joe turned on Wardlow on last week's episode, a brawl broke out between Joe, Hobbs, and Wardlow on this week's Dynamite, with members of the AEW roster entering to pull the three apart. The Full Gear title match was officially announced later in Wednesday's program. Really, that's all the build we're getting for this, is a pull-apart brawl. That's it. It was gonna be, I assume it was gonna be Wardlow and Hobbs, and I was really excited for that. And then Joe turned on Wardlow in what I'm still gonna go ahead and call the most telegraphed heel turn in the history of wrestling, right alongside, Hulk Hogan joining the NWO. Man, I really should be more excited about this because it's Samoa Joe, it's War Dog, and it's Powerhouse Hobbs. But I'm just not feeling it, man. And then the go-home show for this match is a pull-apart brawl. That's it. Listen, I'm not the greatest booker in the absolute universe. I'm the greatest booker in the galaxy. Man, the build could have been better for this. And I feel as though that they could have done a lot more with this, and they didn't. And I really feel as though that a lot more people should be excited about this match, and they aren't. And I want to be very excited about this match, and I wish that there was a little bit more going into this match, but there really isn't. There's no, story. There's a story because Samoa Joe betrayed Wardlow, but because I feel like I talked about this already. I was like, are you trying to tell me that Wardlow is going to be a double champion? Are you trying to, are you trying to tell me that Samoa Joe is going to be a double champion? Because it's for the TNT Championship. Hobbs has to win. Unless you want to put the title on Joe. Okay, I shouldn't. You know what? Okay, Hobbs has to win. Because if Wardlow wins, that kind of takes Hobbs' stock out. I don't want to talk too much about this because I'm definitely uploading my predictions for this entire card for tomorrow. And this is the reason why I wanted to wait, because you never know what type of matches are going to get announced. So, man, I really should be looking more forward to this match, and I'm just not, and that's really just it, man. I really am not excited about this, and I want to be, and I just can't find the energy. Next, Triple H has been dragged over a lackluster build for the WWE Survivor Series War Games pay-per-view. Former WWE official Jimmy Corderas recently questioned the lack of announced matches at this stage. In his most recent Reffin' rant, he stated that WWE usually has at least a couple of the main matches announced by now. He admitted that he understands the importance of telling stories leading up to a pay-per-view. Usually by now, we have at least a couple of the main matches announced. I get taking your time at telling stories going into a pay-per-view, but sometimes you can take too long before you announce matches. We are about a week and a half away from one of the big 4 pay-per-views. Right now, we have 3 official matches as of right now announced. At the moment, it is confirmed that AJ Styles will compete in the singles against Finn Balor. Shotzi Blackheart will compete in the SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey. In addition, Damage Control will be joined by Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley to face Bianca Belair, Mia Yim, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and a mystery partner in the Women's War Games match. The men's match has already been heavily teased, and Corderas admitted that we can speculate on what will happen. The Bloodline is expected to face the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and a mystery partner. However, this is yet to be confirmed, which is the crux of Corderas' issues. Usually those matches are set so you can plug them and put them out there and get people invested instead of waiting until the last go-home show before the pay-per-view to solidify what's going to be on the pay-per-view. I just think it's taking too long. It was supposed to be Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens, he's got a sprained it's something about his MCL. That's pretty much why he's not able to be in the War Games match. I feel like Triple H is sort of waiting to see how Kevin Owens is doing, right? I feel as though that he's got a point, right? He's taking a little bit too long with the matches. I think that so far there's only 3. I feel as though that there should be a lot more, obviously. I don't know why he's waiting. I don't necessarily know what he's waiting on. My biggest bet is that he's waiting on Kevin Owens, but if he's waiting this long in Survivor Series, he said it was a week and a half away, so I feel like now would probably be a good time to have some type of build for the show, and only 3 matches being announced doesn't necessarily seem like the best thing, you know what I mean? So I feel like at the end of the day, you should probably put some matches together. The only other match that I could think of is The Miz and Johnny and Dexter in some capacity, but I do not care for the Dexter Lumis storyline, and if I don't care for it, I would argue that there's a couple more people in the world that don't necessarily give two hoots about it. So that's not really a match you put on the pay-per-view. I feel like that's more of like a pre-show match, but to delegate the Miz to the pre-show, it's kind of like, ugh. But I don't think we should classify the pre-show match as a bad thing. I don't know, man. I don't know why he doesn't have a build to the pay-per-view. I agree. That really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I feel like, especially again, if it's the big four, I feel like you should definitely be in. If you're not gonna have a build to any other matches, the least you could do is have the build to the War Games matches be very interesting. So far, it's pretty much just been the same thing. It's been one person is out, and then another person comes out, and then two more people come out, and then two more people come up from the ring, and then they have a big brawl, and it's like, oh, they're gonna be in the war. There's really not much else to say other than we have to wait and see what's gonna happen at Survivor Series. But for right now, there's not any matches, and there's not really much we can say. Finally, Andrade El Idolo pulls out of an event after a possible hospitalization. According to the Wrestling Observer's Daily Update, it was said that Andrade El Idolo is currently suspended from AEW in a note regarding a recently canceled appearance. El Idolo was set to appear at an event in California, but he later revealed that he had to attend to an issue. In a caption translated from Spanish, a video from Andrade from a hospital bed provided a bit of clarifying information that this video backed up the story that Andrade had to pull out of the show. Here is the video that I told you about in the live that I did. We regret what happened, first for the health of Idolo Andrade, and then for the show. But I already gave details in the live video that I just did of what let's do. Thank you for your support and understanding. Remember, it's being translated from Spanish. So, Idolo seemed to be in a medical facility and was hospitalized at the time as he wore a hospital gown. Idolo was set to face Rey Fenix, but was replaced by Dralistico, Dralistico. I'm going to assume it's Dralistico. Prior to that, Idolo also appeared alongside Ric Flair at an event. Regardless, we will have to see when Andrade... Man, that name is hard to say! Andrade El Idolo will return to AEW television. It's the El Idolo party. You gotta, like, move your tongue back and forth. I didn't know that he was suspended. I mean, considering the fact that he got in trouble over the Sammy Guevara thing. He's hospitalized. I don't necessarily know what he's hospitalized for, right? But hopefully he's okay, and that's why he had to be pulled out of the match. I didn't know that he was suspended. Again, it kind of makes sense considering the fact that he got in trouble over the whole Sammy Guevara situation. So, at the end of the day, folks, I mean, that's really all I can say about it, to be totally honest with you. He's hospitalized, and nobody really knows. I mean, at the time, nobody necessarily knows, what's going on with him. But hopefully he makes a speedy recovery and we see him in a ring somewhere, I guess. I doubt it's going to be AEW considering that he's suspended. What do we talk about? The TNT title match. I'm not excited for it, man. I want to be excited for it, but they haven't done anything. So far, it's been Joe smacking him upside the head and then a pull-apart brawl. That's it? A pull-apart brawl? That's all we're getting for the build is a pull-apart brawl, man. That's it? There's nothing else you could do? Oh, and could you do better? No, to be honest, no, I can't do better. And that's pretty much it. Triple H has been dragged over the lackluster build for Survivor Series. I don't know why there's only why are there only 3 matches announced? It's happening in literally a week and a half. So far, there's only 3 matches. And the one match, the men's Survivor Series War Games match, I mean, is still up in the air because I guess Triple H is like, oh, come on, Kevin Owens, you can make it. He can't. It's a week and a half away. So maybe it's a good idea to scrap that whole idea and bring somebody else in. What if it's Cody Rhodes, man? Ay. And Andrade, man, okay, he's in the hospital. I don't know why he's in the hospital, but he's in the hospital, and that's why he got pulled out of the match. So hopefully he's going to be back in a ring sometime soon. It's not going to be AEW because he's suspended. I didn't know he was still suspended. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. Folks, that's going to do it for this episode. Hopefully everybody has a wonderful tonight and a wonderful tomorrow. As always, big hugs. Big hugs all around.